Good morning, everyone. You know what time it is. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, and you are here live with Coach Steele. Yes, that's me. Welcome to Coach Steele's Finance Training, where we talk about all things financial literacy. We talk about the complicated things, and we try to simplify them to a way where everyone can understand what is going on. I am pumped up about today's session as we talk about what is our subject today. We're talking about how to determine your financial freedom number. Does anybody know what that means? Determining your financial freedom number. I think it's a very, very, very important topic that each and every person needs to learn. Everybody needs to know what their financial freedom number is on today. And if you don't know, then you definitely need to be tuned in so that we can put you on game and get you right, get your mind, get your wheels turning in the right place. As we get started, you already know what to do. Meet me, greet me as you come into the room. Make sure you share the live as well for other people that do not know that I'm live right now. You can support by sharing the live and have other people come in. When you come in the room, tell me good morning, tell me how you're doing, all that good stuff. But we got a great conversation ready on today to talk about how to determine your financial freedom number. What does that mean to you? What is a financial freedom number? I want to hear in the comment section what you all feel is a financial freedom number. Good morning to you, Crystal Moore. Do you know your financial freedom number? What does that phrase mean to you? Financial freedom number. Financial freedom number. What does that mean to you all on today? I want to hear what you have to say. Good morning to you, Mr. Tony Sherman. What is your financial freedom number? Does anybody know what that means? Does anybody have a definition of what it means to have a financial freedom number? And not only are we going to talk about what it means, but we're going to talk about how to find out what that number is for each and every person. We need to know it. It would be very, very wise to know what that number is on today. But once again, welcome to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Happy to have everybody tuning in on today. We are going to have an awesome time. Mr. Tony Sherman says, how much you owe? Nope, your financial freedom number is not how much you owe, but good guess. Good guess. Excellent guess. What is that financial freedom number? How do you find it? So let me tell you. To simplify it, when you're looking for a financial freedom number, there's some math that's involved. Okay, we got Crystal Moore saying, I think it means the number that would make you debt free. Nope, that's not the number. Uh-oh, we got a new challenger. We got Sheila Thomas entering the chat. Let's see what she says. Sheila Thomas says, how much you need to live comfortably. Now, Miss Sheila Thomas is the closest to the answer right now. She's right there. Basically, that is a very good answer. As y'all are tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training, I'm live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and I think I'm live on TikTok. I don't know. But anyway, I want you all to know, how much do you need to live comfortably? How much does it take for a whole year, Crystal? How much does it take for a whole year, Tony and Sheila? How much do you need for the year to be able to maintain yourself? How much money do you need to have coming in monthly? Now check this out. To live comfortably, but it's coming in without you having to clock in, without you having to work, without you having to bust a sweat, Crystal. How much money do you need to be making every month without you having to go clock in at a 9-to-5 job, but it's possibly set up in a way where you're making passive income or some type of pension, some type of retirement account? That amount is coming in every month. And so we are talking about finding your financial freedom number on today. Last week, we talked a little bit about your financial freedom date. When is that day? How old will you be? Do you know that date? Is it 2027? Is it 2030? What month is it? When you truly desire to elevate your level of financial literacy and plan for your future, ladies and gentlemen, you will know the exact month and year that you're going to hit your financial freedom number, because you have mapped out a plan, you have mapped out a strategy. And those are some of the things we'll go over more as we dive into Coach Steele's finance training and we get into one session after another. We start with some of the basics and we're going to work our way up. And so when we look at this whole thing of having a financial freedom number, some of us can guess and say, well, it would be nice to make this amount of money every month, or it'd be nice if I had 3,000 coming in every month. For some people, it may be 10,000. For some people, it might be 7,000. But you have to really find out what that financial freedom number is. And there's a way to do it strategically where you're more accurate. And one of the first things you want to do is write down all your essential lifestyle expenses. That's the first thing you want to do. If you really want to get close to finding out what your financial freedom number is, you need to write down, and I'll make sure I post it on here. Number one, write down all your essential and lifestyle expenses. What are our essential and lifestyle expenses? What are those things that you feel as you get older will be necessary for you to maintain a comfortable lifestyle, kind of like Sheila Thomas mentioned? And there's a long list of items. What are some of the things that you think about that you might need? As y'all are commenting on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, what are some of those lifestyle expenses that you'll need? In that comment section, there's some basic necessities that we need. So when you're trying to figure out what is my financial freedom number, how much do I need? We got to start writing down those essential lifestyle expenses. We have needs and we have wants. But it's okay when you're trying to determine your financial freedom number, it's okay to write down some of your wants in there as well. You may want a massage once a month. You may want to go on vacation twice a year, or whatever the case may be. So we have to start thinking about how much does that stuff cost. I want to hear your thoughts and your comments on today on some of those things you need to keep in mind. For example, some people, their mortgage is paid off. So when it comes to shelter and how they're going to live, one of the expenses that they won't have to write down and account for when they're coming up with their financial freedom number, they won't need to write down like mortgage or rental or what their monthly rent is. So you need to know how much you pay for your mortgage every month, how much you pay for your rent, or is that not going to be a problem later on? And so Sheila Thomas has given us a great example: light bill, water bill, electric bill, food. We definitely need some food. We all know we need food. Think about it. There's some other things that we need too, guys. You're going to need, even though you have your mortgage paid off, you still want home insurance. You still want to have life insurance. You still need car insurance, depending on, if you have a vehicle. There are other expenses, and what we want to do is write down all of those expenses. As you're tuning in to Coach Steele's finance training, how much does it cost you every month to maintain your household and the things that you do every single month? Those are some of the things we want to think about. Yes, transportation. You are correct, Crystal. We want to think about transportation for sure. All right. Anything else? Anybody have any other idea? There we go. Sheila Thomas, with tithes. We want to think about tithing. Some people do charitable giving to certain donations, organizations. You want to keep that in mind if that's something that you do monthly or annually as well. So there's a long list of things that we pay for monthly. Some of you, as you get ready to hit your financial freedom number and you want to find out how much do you have coming in from your businesses, from real estate investing, from stock, from dividend stocks, from your 401k, your IRA, your TSP, your 403b, your 457, whatever it is, traditional, Roth, self-directed IRA, solo 401ks, all of these different retirement tools. Yes, some of you still are going to want internet, cable, entertainment, going to football games, basketball games, hockey games, soccer games, sporting events, going to the movies. Some of you still want Netflix. Child expenses. Now, Crystal, as we get older and hit that financial freedom date, well, you don't have to wait till you get older for the financial freedom date. So I like this. I'm going to let child expenses fly, because if someone does what they're supposed to do financially, they may hit their financial freedom number when they're 35, 40 years old, and you still may have child expenses, or it may be expenses for the grandchildren. You may want to spoil them. So that's another good one as well. But the point is, how much do you spend every month on expenses? Those are the things you want to think about. That's a long list right there. Housing, rent, mortgage, utilities, insurance, food, groceries, transportation, car gas, maintenance, public transit, healthcare. Think about the healthcare as you get older. When you leave your job, are you still going to have the benefits, the healthcare benefits of that job? If you have a job, or if you're an entrepreneur, how much is that going to cost you? Insurance, debt payments, if you still have debt, like I mentioned earlier, entertainment, hobbies, travel, vacation, miscellaneous, gifts, clothing, you name it, holidays, traveling. Keep all of that in mind. And so imagine if someone, it takes them like, I don't know, $3,500 a month they're spending on those things. So that means you need to find a creative way to invest your money to make $3,500 a month. If you spend $3,500 a month on expenses and the quality of your living, but you have passive income of $3,500, you have essentially hit a level of your financial freedom number. But there's some other things we have to take into account. Definitely some other things we have to take into account. So let's go a little bit deeper, and we might have to do some math today. So with that example, as I mentioned, if you, and I need my mathematicians here on the board, make sure you share the live. Here's some math. Here's the question. If you spend your money on all of these things monthly, and it costs you $3,500 a month to pay for these items, then how much money do you need for the year? That is the math question. If you spend $3,500, $3,500 every month for 12 months for the year, how much money do you need for the year? What is your annual financial freedom number? I need y'all in that comment section to write your answers down. Let's see who can do their math on the fly, do the math in your head, or you can do it on your phone. You might have a calculator. Some of y'all just might be like that when it comes to math, and you just know the answer. How much is that a year? $3,500 every month. How much money are you spending a year? And this is good because some of you already know how much money you spend every month. So now you'll know how much money you need every year as far as your financial freedom number. And then we're going to do some more math with that, because there's some other things as you get older you want to take into account. If you spend $3,500 every month, okay, I got some answers. Mr. Tony Sherman, 3,500 times 10 months would give me the 35,000. But you got to add 2 more months. And 35 and 35 is 72. So Crystal Moore, when she comes with the 42,000, bam, she hit the nail on the head. Miss Shirley Frazier, bam, hit the nail on the head. Mr. Tony Sherman comes back with the right answer. That's what I'm talking about. $3,500 times 12. We need $42,000 a month. I mean, a year. Now, $42,000 a month is nice. We need $42,000 in this example, $42,000 a year to maintain. So that's that annual financial freedom number. This is all important for people that want to be able to go into things that they're passionate about, things that they love, things that they want to do. We need to figure out how to determine your financial freedom number. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When you're trying to determine your financial freedom number, you know how much you need a month, you know how much you need a year, but it gets bigger than that, guys. You need to figure out how much needs to be in that retirement account so that you can draw $42,000 a year. Here's where it gets interesting. If this is an example that we're using today. If y'all are just tuning in, we're talking about how to determine your financial freedom number. We're starting small and we're growing gradually. So stay with me here. If you need $3,500 a month, that means you need $42,000 a year. But how large does that retirement account needs to be if we're doing it through a retirement account, a 401k, an IRA? How much needs to be in there for you to be able to draw $42,000 a year so you can get your $3,500 a month? That's why what we're teaching today is important, because you need to figure out more than one way to get that $42,000 a year based on where you work, what your job provides, and how much time you plan on being there, and how much you plan on pouring into a retirement account. Have you started yet? If you haven't, are there other ways? Are there other avenues to hit that financial freedom number? And I want to tell you on today, yes, there are other ways to hit that financial freedom number besides just stacking a lot of money into the retirement account. Now, we'll get to that as well. And some of you may already know that, whether you're creating passive income through real estate, dividend stocks, some of you receive pension or retirement pensions from jobs that you worked at 20 years or more. So there's more than one way to do it. And that's why we want to talk about this on today. How do we do it and what do we need to adjust for? So let's deal with step number two. Now, step number one, we already know that we needed to add up all of our expenses. We needed to take a lot of things into account if we're going to hit our financial freedom number. And in this example we're using today, this person needs $3,500 a month, $42,000 a year. But guess what we need to adjust for? If we're talking about hitting a financial freedom number, and those that are in the comment section that have lived on this earth for a while, you all know exactly why step number two is so important, why it's so vital. And we are here on Coach Steele's Finance Training talking about hitting your financial freedom number. We need to adjust for inflation and lifestyle. If you've been living on this earth long enough, you know the cost of living from when it was in 1979 to now it being 2025, the cost of living has gone up. If you were here in 1950, 1960, a candy bar doesn't cost the same amount. A bag of chips doesn't cost the same amount. So when you're trying to hit your financial freedom number, Crystal, you need to take into account that we have to adjust for inflation. And in America, we say that inflation every year is usually about 2 to 3%. So basically 2.5% on average. So if you want to hit your financial freedom number and it's 42,000 this year, then 20 years from now, that financial freedom number may not be 42,000. So that's why we're going to dive into this math and be able to develop some strategies of having financial success with learning what our financial freedom number is. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this conversation. If you're just tuning in now to Coach Steele's Finance Training, make sure you jump in the comment section, say good morning to everybody. Of course, we get started at Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Every Saturday morning, we're going live. And today, we do know that we have to add 2 to 3% yearly for inflation when we are trying to figure out our financial freedom our financial freedom number. So make sure you keep that in mind. So what's interesting is if your goal is to make $42,000 a year, that you can start receiving distributions from your retirement account, or you're trying to make $42,000 a year from your passive income or from a business, whatever it is, making t-shirts, making smoothies, selling ice cream, whatever it is. We got to add that 2 to 3%. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because what is 2 to 3% of $42,000? So if we had to look at it, I would say if you had $42,000 that you receive annually, what is 2.5% of that? This is where it gets interesting, because when we add the 2 to 3% yearly for inflation, and we're including our future lifestyle upgrades, traveling, moving, kids, college, all of these different things. All of that continues to go up. So, how do you handle that? We have to add, we have to take $42,000 and multiply it by 0.025%. So that'll give us that 2 to 3%. If we take $42,000 and we multiply it by 0.025%, what do we get? Yeah, I got my mathematicians working in the comment section today. 42,000 times 0.025, that is basically 2.5%. So we're taking that middle. Instead of doing 2% and instead of doing 3%, although you can, we're going to find out how much inflation, how much is that going to cost us every year? Anybody have the answer on that? In that comment section, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, I want to see that answer in the comment section. I got you all doing some work on today because I want you to get better with learning how to execute and hit that financial freedom number. That's what we're talking about on today. How to determine your financial freedom number. And that's the beauty of Coach Steele's finance training, is it's not just about always talking and telling you all what to do, but there's interaction to help you work on developing good skills when it comes to your finances and educating yourself on the basics, because sometimes people grew up not learning these things. They wasn't taught in the school system, and you may not have learned at home. And you need to learn how to find out this number for yourself. So by the time you sit with a financial coach like me, or a financial advisor, or whoever it is, a mentor, you know what you're doing. So when they're explaining things to you, it's confirming some of the things you were already confident about or you had an idea about. And so here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, I like to challenge you. I like to see if you know what you're doing. Thank you, Nicole Taswell. So that answer is $1,050. That's the answer. So keep in mind, in this hypothetical, the person needs $3,500 every month. They need $42,000 a year. And every year, they're going to need another $1,050 to account for inflation. So keep in mind, if they need, thank you, Crystal Moore, I see your answer, a little over 1,000. If they need $42,000 this year, next year, if we include inflation and we count in Nicole Taswell's answer, now they need $43,050 the next year. So if you account for it, for some people, they say, well, as of right now, my financial freedom number would be about $42,000. Well, if you think about it like Crystal and Nicole Taswell did just now, you know you're going to need an extra about $1,000 every year. So if your financial freedom number is $42,000 now, 20 years from now, add another $1,000 for each year. Now you're going to need, instead of $42,000, you may need about $62,000, because that's 20 times 1,000, that's 20,000 added to the 42,000. We need about 62,000. Now, of course, you can always round it up to 70, because some years are going to be 2%, some are going to be 3%. We averaged at 2.5. So if you average up saying, okay, I'm going to need about 70,000 a year. So let's keep going, because we still need to find out how much we're going to need in that retirement account. Or if you have a pension from the school, how much are they going to pay you every month? And some places where you work, they'll send that information out to you. You just have to request it. You just have to ask for it. Or sometimes they'll just automatically send it to you as well throughout the year to let you know how much you'll get. So if you spend $42,000 a year now, in 20 years, you may need $65,000 plus to live the same way because of inflation. This is so good right here. I hope you all are getting some good information and education out of this. So we've done step one, And step one was add up all your annual expenses and write down all your essential and lifestyle expenses. Step number two, we got to adjust for inflation and lifestyle and add 2 to 3% yearly for inflation. Let's go to step number three. Step number three, choose your strategy. And there are two main ways to hit your financial freedom number. And so we have to understand we got to choose our strategy. This is so important. Like when I started learning things like this, it really opened my eyes up to how realistic it is to hit a financial freedom number. Because if you take the traditional route, oh my gosh, there's nothing against it, but it seems like it takes forever. And so step number three, choose your strategy. There are two main ways to hit your financial freedom number. I mentioned it earlier, some of those ways to hit the financial freedom number. And my whole thing is, if I don't have to wait 35 years to hit a financial freedom number, then why wait? If I can do it in 10 years or 15 years and cut that time frame in half, then I'd just rather cut it in half because I have things to do. Am I the only one that has things to do? If you're in the comment section and you're listening on today, just write, I have things to do. I have things to take care of. I want to be booked and busy with some other stuff that I got coming across my table. I have things to do. I don't want to wait 35 years to hit a financial freedom number. If I have to, I will. But if I don't have to, I'd rather do it much sooner because I have some things to do. I have some passion projects. I have some things I want to take care of, whether it's in America or with my family or with Cameroon. Okay. Now, here's the first one that really, it sent me over the top. It sent me over the top. So I'm gonna send you all the first one. Let's see here. Now, this is where it gets interesting to me. I know that's right. Sheila Thomas said, I have things to do. Nicole says, I have things to do. I want to be booked and busy. I enjoyed myself the past couple of days. I had an opportunity to go speak with the young people, young men ages 12 to 18 at an event called Tie to Success, where we teach the young men how to tie ties, but we spoke to them about a few things. One of them was mental health and a few other subjects, how to be champions. And one thing that I got to talk to the young men about was financial literacy. I have things to do. I want to be booked and busy in speaking engagements and traveling the world to help educate people about financial literacy, to coach people. And so to love on them and show them that they can make it, they can survive, they can maintain themselves. And so that's why I want to hit my financial freedom number early. And so here's one approach. And I think you all will find this very, very interesting. It's a traditional approach that a lot of people take. And so you're going to see a lot of mumbo jumbo down here at the bottom. Now, you could get an investment portfolio approach and use what they call the safe withdrawal rate, SWR, and use that rule. And the popular rule, and I've mentioned this before here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, is 4% withdrawal rate. Some prefer 3.5% to be safer. This is really going to open your eyes up. And so your financial freedom number equals your annual expenses. Now think about this. This is so important. How much money? We know we need $3,500 a month in this scenario. We need $42,000 a year. But of course, inflation, you may need more. If you need $42,000 a year, how much money do you need to have saved up in your retirement account, your 401k, your TSP, your 403b, 457, Roth, traditional, solo, self-directed? How much money needs to be in there? Because to be safe, to make it last, when you're trying to hit your financial freedom number, you should only draw about 4% annually. This is where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. And the math question gets a little more complicated. How much can I pull? How much needs to be in there for me to comfortably pull 4% annually? Does anybody have the answer to that? I'm going to give you a hint, but I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm going to give you the math, in a sense, on how to find the answer. All right. I'm going to give you some math here. If this scenario, the person needs $42,000 a year so they can get $3,500 a month, how much needs to be sitting in the retirement account for them to get their $3,500 distributions without rushing to deplete that max amount? I'll put it in the comment section. Make sure you all share the live. This is good training for other people to know, people to have, for our loved ones to know. Many people are not prepared. If you need $42,000 a year, if you take $42,000 and divide it by 0.04, which is 4% that we keep talking about, then it's showing that you need, I gave you all the answer, $1,050,000. So this is where it gets interesting. I got y'all tuned in. I got your wheels turning. I got the light bulbs coming on. I need you all to understand that usually financial advisors are telling you to only pull 4% from your retirement account, wherever you have that money sitting at, that $1,050,000, so you don't deplete it fast, so it can last you over a period of time. The problem in America is if you Google ChatGPT search the average size of the retirement accounts in America, they're going to tell you they're like ranging from $250,000 to $350,000. So if the average American, and you have to remember, that's the average. That's not necessarily realistically for the average person, the average American, because there are some millionaires and billionaires that if a lot of people are down here and maybe they only have 50,000 or 100,000 in their retirement account, because of millionaires and billionaires being factored into this, it pulls the average up, but it doesn't mean that it's the median. So understand, most people don't even have 350,000 or 250,000 in their retirement account. So let's go deeper here. So if the average person only has, let's say, 300,000 in their retirement account and they want to make it last, and you only draw 4%, do y'all understand 4% of $300,000 is only $12,000? Probably can't see that. It's only $12,000. Divided by 12 months, that means you can only get $1,000 a month if you want to make that thing last. See, if you truly want to hit your financial freedom number, you need to have some strategies to hit that number. And you can go for one strategy, like I told you all earlier, which is basically stacking a certain amount of money into whether it's the S&P 500, the ETF, or I don't know, your retirement account, 401k, 403b. You know it. I've said it 50 million times. So you have this investment portfolio approach using the SWR rule, where you only draw 4%. That way you can have enough. Well, guess what? You need to really be putting a lot of money into that retirement account. If your company is matching, you need to see how much they're matching so you can get some of that free money that they're helping you with. Good morning to you, Mr. Ron Doc. Happy to have you tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Guys, I want you all to understand that the person who needs $42,000 a year needs about $1,050,000 sitting in their retirement account. Now, that's one approach. Some of you need more than $42,000 a year because some of you spend more than $3,500 a month. Plus, we have inflation. So with inflation, this person needs almost $2 million sitting in that retirement account due to inflation, medical costs as you get older and things like that. I want to open your eyes up today to learn that you can get to the finish line faster through being creative with your investing. Now, check this out. If you needed $3,500 a month and you have to put up, and I'm not saying that you have to raise the whole $1,050,000. As you're investing in the stock market, of course, they say on average, maybe like the S&P 500 will grow 10% annually on average. So you're putting money in. There's some compound interest going on as well, depending on where you have your money, plus dividends and all of that turning over and growing as well. So you don't have to come up with the whole $1,000,000, right? But you need to come up with a good amount of it, a large amount of it, thousands and thousands of dollars. Do you know there are some people that have like an Airbnb, and let's say they bought the house for $300,000, and all they needed was, let's say, 20% down. So I'm going to do the math on that. So let's say you got a house for $300,000 and you put 20% down. So you only put $60,000 in it. But you could potentially make $3,500 a month off that Airbnb. So you wait 30 years to build up to $1,050,000, or you could potentially invest in an Airbnb this year or next year or 2 years from now and potentially make $3,500 a month. Now, I know some of you say, well, all Airbnbs don't make $3,500 a month. Fine, cut it in half. Fine, cut it by a third. But my point is, I can hit my financial freedom number much faster through another asset class besides just the retirement account. I want to talk to you all and get your wheels turning so you can think about other options, opportunities that you have to hit these numbers much quicker than the traditional route of putting money into a retirement account for 30 years. Is anything wrong with it? Nothing's wrong with it. If the company's giving you free money, then do it, because they will match, right? So you want to have that option, and you want to have other things going on to the side to complement what you're doing to hit that financial freedom number. I want to open your eyes so that you don't limit yourself just to one option on today. And I must be preaching well, because I got an amen from Ron Dock. And so we got Crystal Moore. She says to the community here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, she said, what's a good retirement account to set up if your employer doesn't offer one? I love this. To keep it simple for you, Crystal, I would tell you, and you can write it in the comment section if you need to, so to help you remember, you can always come back. You can go get a pretty simple, go open up a Roth IRA. Crystal Moore, I need you to go start a Roth individual retirement account, a Roth IRA. Start there. I love a good Roth IRA because you don't really have to, it's not like a heavy requirement that you have to put a certain amount in. And I don't have time to go into the past and tell you about how I started mine up. But then there's some other benefits to a Roth IRA. Ooh, Crystal, you would love a Roth IRA. We're going to have to talk offline how a Roth IRA can benefit you, because usually the money that you put into a Roth IRA is money that they said has already been taxed. And so if the money's already been taxed, when that money's in a Roth IRA, Crystal, when you receive your distributions, when you start finally pulling the money from there, once you hit a certain age, once you're past 59 and a half and there's not any penalties and things like that, the money you pull out of that Roth IRA is non-taxable. They can't tax you on it because it was already taxed before you put it in there. Now, I will say this. I don't know, let's say somebody, you cut grass, or you have some type of other business that you do on the side, and let's say people pay you in cash and you put that money in a Roth IRA. I mean, it is what it is. Whenever you get it out, it's non-taxable. So do the rest of the math on that. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see what Mr. Ron Dock says. He says, learning how to trade options is a boost. However, set stop losses and don't over trade. And so he's showing you another way to invest in assets into the marketplace that other people invest in, but it's another creative way to make profits. And so he's saying basically, however, set stop losses. In other words, put some measures in place so you don't lose all your money. You have some things in place to some. It's almost like when you go bowling, and if you're not good at it, you got to put those bars up on both sides so you don't keep hitting in the gutter. So as you invest and you do trade options, which I don't do, and so if you do it, you definitely want to be educated. You want to be trained on it, so that way you learn the right way to do it, guys. But you can put those barriers up so that you don't hit in the gutter every time with your money. Tasha Smith says, I have things to do. I know that's right. We got things to do. And so I don't need to be taking 35, 40 years. And so there's multiple banks that, I love this. This is great. There's multiple banks, guys, that you can start a Roth IRA with. So Miss Crystal Moore, I'll get with you and help you get all of that set up and show you how to do your research, why you choose what bank that you choose and all that good stuff. And so we got Mr. Mickey tuning in, letting you all know about the boss method. If you don't know about the boss method, you need to schedule an appointment with my guy, Mickey. And so Debt Free Famous, Mr. Mickey, AKA Debt Free Famous, he has a boss system in place, which shows you another creative way. This is why I'm talking to you all about this on today. When I'm telling you about getting your financial freedom number, I'm running this system with Mr. Mickey, and I asked for him for advice and guidance on it as well. And if I told you all what I'm trying to do, if I had to simplify it, right? If I had to keep it simple, what I'm going to do, my goal is to long-term in the next 4.5 years, I'm going to have a system where I have like $25,000, $30,000 coming in every month, passive income. And so Mr. Mickey helps teach that system, and he's running it himself as well. So anyway, guys, there is a boss method, and if you want to learn more about it, you have to get in contact with Mr. Mickey, and he'll guide you on it. And he's running that system because he has things to do as well. Many of us have things to do. We don't have time to waste time and be on somebody's clock for the next 40 years, right? We got stuff to do. I'm about my father's business. Let's go a little bit further. I think we hit step 3 and we're getting very close. So I don't want to keep y'all all too long today. We know that this person, if they chose the traditional route, basically, they're going to have to wait till they build up basically about $1,050,000. That takes a long time. I know compound interest works in that person's favor, but I like this route. I like to find assets that cash flow. Why, Doc? Because I can hit the goal faster, and there's other benefits to it as well. And so, you know, that first route, you got things in the stock market. The stock market goes up and down, and there's a difference between the average rate that it increases and the actual rate. So, guys, y'all have to do the numbers and the research on that. Now, think about this. The cash flow assets approach. That's my approach, right? Instead of one big pot of money, build income streams that cover expenses. I like to build income streams that cover expenses because it's easier and there's tax benefits as well. So, for example, rental properties. You can go get a rental property, and in a matter of 3 to 5 years on that rental property. Now, earlier I told you all about Airbnbs, but now I'm talking about long-term rentals, not short-term rentals. You get a long-term rental, maybe in 3 to 5 years, that property is making you $700 to $1,000 a month, right? So if that property is making me about $1,000 a month, and I do have some like that in my portfolio, after expenses and the mortgage payment, if the property even has a mortgage. And so with that, in this scenario, if this person needs $3,500 a month to maintain themselves to hit their financial freedom number, if I can go get one property and in 3 to 5 years, that one property can make me $1,000 a month, I'm almost a third of the way there. Why would I not duplicate that 2 to 3 more times? If I do it 3 more times, now I have 4 properties that are all producing They're all producing passive income, and I'm making $1,000 a month off of all of these properties. Now I know I say it may take 2 to 3 years to get there, but guess what? Worst case scenario, what if it takes 10 years for all of these properties to make you $1,000 a month? Gentlemen, ladies that are listening in on today, I want you to understand, if that be the case and I can do that with 4 properties and potentially 10 years, okay, fine. What if it doesn't take 10 years? Let's take 15 years. That's way better than doing it for the 30 to 40 years with the company. If I can just knock it out in 10 years with some rental properties, that's $4,000 a month. And understand, when you have that large sum of money, when you choose option one, which is a large sum of money in a retirement account, that account slowly depletes over time, goes to zero. The rental properties, if a tenant moves out, I put another tenant in. So check this out. So I like the cash flow asset approach. Good morning to you, Mr. Joseph Thomas. I see you tuning in on today. Happy to have you. Mr. Tony Sherman, you got to get with Mr. Mickey, my guy, offline, and he can talk to you about the boss method. Doc says, let me hold some. Doc, check this out. If I teach you how to invest in real estate the right way, you won't even need to hold something. You know why? Because it'll just be coming to you every month. Why let you hold something for a day when you can have something coming in for a lifetime? I want to talk to you all today about hitting and determining your financial freedom number. Guys, I know Mr. Doc is just joking with me. If y'all don't know, he's the man with the plan. He's the one with the big money, the big bucks. He needs to let me hold something so I can go buy another property. And so can you all imagine the fact that somebody can actually lend you money? They can let you hold something and you can go invest in a real estate. You can go invest in a long-term rental, right? Whatever they let you hold, you can agree to pay them like 10%, 8% annually, right? And so you can keep the difference, right? So if you're keeping the difference and you're paying them interest, eventually as that property increases in value, you can pull some of the equity out of some of the money out of the bricks, leverage that, pay Mr. Ron Doc his money back, and now you still own the property and you get the cash flow monthly. So even if somebody lets you hold something, learn how to invest it wisely, pay them their interest, their portion, pay them back, boom, you got a property. So you never used your money to create this passive income, Crystal, that you can retire from if you learn the game, if you learn the system the right way. So how do we determine our financial freedom number? We know how to determine it because we went through all of those steps. Make sure you all share the live on today. That way other people can get this free game that I'm giving out right now when we're talking about how to determine our financial freedom number. If you all are trying to figure out how to get in contact with Coach Steele here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, I have my website down there at the bottom of the ticker going. I have my email address down there as well. So there's multiple ways to reach out to me and get in contact with me, guys, as we continue to go and talk about this information. So let's go a little bit deeper, right? I just showed you all there's 2 different ways to do it. Acquire assets. These assets bring you passive income. You can do that, and it takes less than 30 years to build up to that point of $1,050,000. But what if you did both? Check this out. This is the approach that I like. I like putting both of them into play. If I work for a company and they do provide it, great. Or if you're like Crystal, let's say you work for a company but they don't provide, then I'm going to set up my own. And this is where it gets beautiful. Check this out. I'm going to do option number 2, which is invest in assets that pay me passive income. When the tenants or my dividend stocks or cryptocurrency, whatever it is, when it pays me money, passive income, I can take that money and I can go throw it into my retirement account. And then let's say you have a company that matches, boom, the company matches, or it's my Roth where the company doesn't match. Guess what? All I did was take money that tenants paid me to help set up my retirement account. Take money that tenants paid me and go set up whole life insurance policies. Some people say get term. Some people say get whole. I say get what works for you to reach your financial freedom number on today. Do not put yourself in a box, ladies and gentlemen. Do what works best for you. Some people don't like real estate. Guess what? Don't do it. Do other investments. Find the asset class that works best for you, because there's tons of asset classes that you can work on. Thank you, Mr. Doc. If you said good teaching, sir. I don't know if I already posted that, but I liked it. So I'm just going to keep letting your comment pop back up because that just made me feel good. Yes, Doc, if I borrow some money from you, I need to pay it back to you, but not just pay it back, but I need to pay it back with interest, because you didn't just let me hold the money for your money not to be working. Here in Coach Steele's finance training, we believe in making money multitask. So if I borrow some money for an investment, I want to pay my brother back with interest, because we have to make the money multitask. That's what I believe in doing. And so when you do good business with people, guess what? They'll want to do more business. If I made Doc some money and all of a sudden I'm making him more money than he's making in the stock market, guess what? He might want to come back to the table and let me hold some more money. And as you all are tuning in to Coach Steele's finance training, you can always go to my website and get you a t-shirt, Make Money Multitask. It comes in different colors, so you can support the movement, come be a part of this community, and not just do it, but you can also wear it as well with Making Money Multitask here at Coach Steele's finance training. So if you have any questions, feel free to get at me. Like I said, my content and information to reach out to me is available. So let's finish getting on with the rest of this party. We're making some good momentum right here. All right. Mickey says, best coach out there on financial literacy. I feel special on today. I got Doc commenting me. I got Mickey making good comments. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. So let's go a little bit further. So we got two options. We can stack the money over a long period of time. Mr. Tony Sherman, yes, you did. I saw it too. I saw the order come in. It was like last week when you got your t-shirt. So awesome. Proud of you. When you get your t-shirt, I saw you already ordered it. I don't know if it made it to you yet, but make sure you put it on, and I'm gonna take a picture with you as well. So that way I can promote that and show that people do buy my t-shirts. So thank you for you and a few others that have bought the t-shirt as well. Boy, if you don't, I'm coming back, because that market is booming right now. Check this out, Doc. You invest in the market and you invest. Like I said, do both. So the money I make you is going to be booming, and the money that the market makes is going to be booming. So you just have diversification in your portfolio. So there's nothing wrong with that. So let's go a little bit further. When you invest in real estate, really, guys, you're hedging against inflation as well. Same thing with cryptocurrency. You're hedging against inflation. Let's go a little bit further. We know both ways. So now, because you know both ways and you're investing in cash flow assets, whether it's rental properties, dividend stocks, royalty, business income, bond interest, or annuities. We talked about that, because if your expenses are $3,500 a month, you need the passive income streams that bring in $3,500 a month consistently. Okay, so step number 4, guess what we need to do, guys? On step number 4, you need to test and recalculate. And you also have to remember that I told you all that we got to keep in mind and take into account for inflation as well. Sometimes people don't calculate inflation in there. And also, like I told you all, healthcare, depending on what you got from your job, it may cost you more when you leave your job. So when you test and recalculate, you have to track your progress yearly. How far away are you from hitting that goal? And adjust if expenses rise or your lifestyle changes. What are some things that may rise over a period of time that may change? In that comment section, go ahead and blow that chat section up. What are some expenses that are going to increase? I'll tell y'all one right now. Now, because Netflix had Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fighting last weekend, Oh, Netflix is going to boost that price up, especially when you can watch these events that used to be pay-per-view and you'd have to pay $100 to see it for the night. Netflix over the next 20 years is going to boost that price up, which that also means if you wanted to invest in a stock that you feel may be going up over a period of time, maybe Netflix is a good option. I don't know. Do your research. But just know certain things are going to go up, certain service providers, your cell phone bill. Ooh, that's a good one right there, Crystal. Jeez. Excellent example of things that are going to go up and are going up right now. Property taxes. Yes. Of course, being a real estate investor and having multiple properties, multiple homes, every year I have to kind of just breathe and gather myself, because each property continues to go up in value. And when the properties go up in value, then tenants get upset because all of a sudden landlords, property managements raise the price. Well, we have to stay profitable. We can't have the house and take a loss, right? Because now at that point, I'm paying someone to live in my house, and that doesn't quite make sense. And so let's go a little bit further. We got Sheila saying food expenses. Yes, the cost of groceries is going up. If you could get a shopping cart and you go spend $100 in 2018 and 2019, that shopping cart would have been full of groceries. But if you go take $100 now in 2025, same shopping cart, same size, all of that, and you go into Walmart and you go spend that $100, you just got like a little section. You still got so much space in your shopping cart. Feel like you didn't even go shopping. And so food expenses go up. Appreciate that, Doc. Yes, Mr. Tony Sherman, gas prices have gone up. I remember when I was in high school, I could go scrounge up a piece of some change. I could go scrounge up about 4 quarters or some coins in my car, fill it up with $1 and some change, and I could go ride around Savannah for a little while. But anyway, can't do that anymore. Now, so we have to understand what we're dealing with. We have to understand that we have to test and recalculate, and we have to adjust. And so let's go a little bit further here. So we have to adjust if expenses rise or your lifestyle changes, because some of you are going to want to do a lot of big things as you continue to get older, and you mix both strategies, your portfolio and the cash flow for flexibility. And so let me see if I can make sure I put this simple formula in here for you all to remember. Y'all did awesome on today as we get close to coming to a close here with this content and information that we're going over on today here on Coach Steele's Finance Training. I want to give you all some information that's going to help you out. A simple formula to remember. Your financial freedom number equals annual expenses, your safe withdrawal rate, we know that SWR rule, or your monthly passive income needs to be greater or equal to your monthly expenses. Your financial freedom number equals the safe withdrawal rate, annual expenses, or monthly passive income is greater than your monthly expenses. So you all have to keep that in mind. Always test and recalculate. Make sure that you're on point with what you're looking at. And that's why what we teach at Coach Steele's Finance Training is so important. Let's see here. We got Doc said, $100, you get 2 apples and 1 cucumber. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You get 2 apples, 1 cucumber, and I'm trying to think what else you could get. You might be able to squeeze in a pack of water, a case of water as well, with that $100, with the apples and the cucumber. And if you want your water to taste extra sweet, go and put the cucumbers in there as well. Be fancy. And so here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, when we're talking about how to determine your financial freedom number, I want you all to challenge yourself. I want you to take this as like a homework assignment. Go back, Crystal, Sheila, everyone that's tuning in on today. Some of you that haven't commented or showed up in the chat section, I couldn't call your name out. I didn't see you with any comments. But think about all those things and go back and do your numbers. You all know how to do the math here. I showed you how to figure out what 4% is, how to be able to divide that number by 4, that annual number by 4, to figure out what that large amount needs to be. Or you can be creative like I like to do and go find those assets to where they can pay you that amount monthly. You can get there faster through that route, and or take the money you receive monthly. If you don't need it right now, then take that money that you receive from the business or entrepreneurship or investments and throw that into the marketplace, into your retirement accounts, and let it grow. So you're learning creatively, guys, how to grow your financial freedom number without having to always necessarily use your 9 to 5 income. You can use your 9 to 5 income to live your daily life, or if you want to, take your 9 to 5 income to help boost both of those entities even faster and get the ball rolling. There's so many ways to do this. Don't limit yourself to just one. Be open to learn new things. Guys, if I can figure this out and understand it and do it, guess what? You can too. And so I like talking about what our goals are. You all should be able to comfortably and confidently in that comment section be able to write down, what are your financial freedom numbers? What are your goals? How much do you want to have coming in every month comfortably? And so, of course, I said mine earlier. Why? Because I want to be accountable. When I tell you all 4.5 years, I want you all to be able to find me in 4.5 years and say, hey, Coach Steele, did you hit that number? Hey, did it work out for you? Are you there? And so we can have a great conversation to let you know that it does not take 30, 40 years to be able to retire, or I don't want to use the word retire because I don't believe that you should just stop and do anything, do nothing at all. You should still be active doing something, whatever your passion is, family time, giving back, mission trips, you name it. But it's just something to think about. I appreciate all of you tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to Coach Steele's Finance Training on YouTube and subscribe. We're building up a strong community in there. And I appreciate Lewis Frazier Middle School. I went out there to the middle school the other day, Thursday evening, and spoke to parents and students about financial literacy. That was another great event I got to be a part of. So if you need a specialist, someone to come and speak about financial literacy or motivate the masses wherever you are, whether it's a small group or whether it's a large organization, make sure you go to my website and fill out a speaker's request form. That way we can work out and do the business right. If you need a financial coach, go to my website. You'll be able to see the options and the different services I provide and what that may cost you as well. Other than that, appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you got these steps right. And I need y'all to determine those financial freedom